project we are going to take either some blank ornaments, or you could even use old ornaments that you'd like to refresh. But for this one I actually found these ornaments, which are a fundraising type ornament from one of our local shops, Cotton On. They cost $5 for 8 ornaments, and when I saw them I thought that is perfect as a blank canvas to make them our very own. So there's 8 in this groovy little box, 8 blank wood ornaments. So this is what I'm going to use as my examples today. But whatever sort of ornaments you have hanging around, we can update them and personalize them with a bit of paint and a bit of gold or silver leaf. So I've got a couple of examples here. Okay, but making them truly your own and refreshing them for this year, or even making them into a gift tag or a gift. Okay, so what we'll need for this project are some imitation gold or silver leaf. This isn't very expensive stuff. Make sure you just get the imitation stuff. There's no need to get the real gold leaf for this one. And with the gold leafing, we'll need a couple of, I like a smaller brush for this project actually, so these are going to be my gold leafing brushes, and a soft brush for wiping away the gold leaf at the end. I've got a bit of paint here too, because we're going to be undercoating them and maybe adding some details as well, and some brushes for the paint and the varnish as well. So it really isn't a big project at all, and you can use what you have and the colours that you have, but definitely get some gold and silver leaf going. It'll feel very festive. Now to get started, I'm going to do a base coat of colour on a couple of these ornaments as an example. Now you can use colour off a palette like this, so I'm going to use some dark purple that I have here. Whoop, drip it on. With a lovely bare wood like this, it's not a bad thing to have a bit of the grain showing through. But just roughly get a whole coat. Gosh, you could spray paint or dip them or whatever you want to do. But I know I'm going to use gold or silver on the top of this, so I'm deliberately choosing some darker colours. Although white and gold would look good too. Okay, now so that can dry, I'm going to just pop it through a brush that I've got here and balance it ever so carefully between those two jars. Very scientific plan. Okay, I'm going to do this next angel with Payne's Grey directly on. A little bit thicker there. And I think I might do the next one red to give you an example of what that will end up looking like with some gold leaf. But this one, this Payne's Grey is like a dark navy blue, really. So pretty stylish colour at the moment, navy. So alright, just getting into all of those grooves there. These have been cut out of ply, so there's a few rough edges there. But you certainly can't complain when I've only spent $5 on all 8 ornaments and that money's going to charity. So there we go. The second angel, we'll thread her through as well. And this red heart, well this heart, we're going to make red. I think I'll put that straight on there. Wash and dry my brush. Always really dry my brushes when I'm using these fluid paints. So I like the consistency of them the way they are. Red. Of course you could keep a bit of purple on the other side there, probably from my hands. You could keep part of this clear if you were spending a bit more time getting it perfect. It's totally up to you. But I just want the whole thing to be coated. Getting a bit on my fingers, that's for sure. There we go. So that one's all red. Now we're going to let this paint dry and then come back and we'll be putting the gold size on for our gold leafing project. Now, all my shapes are fairly dry, or they are dry, and I'm going to add some gold leaf. Now, what I've got here is this stuff called gold size. It's not very expensive, and it's for adhering our gold leaf. I'm just putting a bit out on this plastic here as a palette, and I'm using a smaller brush than usual to add on some details. So you really could do anything you like. So here I am outlining the shape of the ornament. Here I could even do a face on this angel, but I'm just making sort of flower shapes, 5-pointed flower shapes, marks with the brush that look a bit like flowers, or maybe they look like fireworks all over it. So this size will take 10 to 15 minutes, or 5 to, what does it say here? 5 to 10 minutes to go tacky. I'll outline this one again. And then if you don't get back to it in that time frame, as long as you get back to it within about 10 to 12 hours, it will stay tacky and you can apply your gold leaf. So if you do get interrupted, all is not lost. But you can see where it's going as I'm applying it there. But as it dries, it goes clear. This one here, I might just totally cover this shape with gold leaf. Even then, I think it's nicer to have the dark coloured paint underneath the gold leaf, rather than leaving the timber colour. It does make it look just a bit more special. And this last one here, I might just do a 15 for 2015, which is this Christmas. If you're watching this in the future, it's exciting. There we go. So could be any sort of message that you want, really. There we go, just a 15 painted on there. Not very balanced at all, actually. Might do a 20 up the side. 2, 0, 15. There we go. See if that makes any sense. Actually, I don't like that at all. I'm just going to paint the whole thing. So I can use silver or gold. I've got both here. There's also a thing called variegated gold leaf, which is a bit hippie, I suppose. It's got a few colours through it, but certainly an option if you'd like a multicoloured wreath. Now I'm washing out my brush with the size straight away. We're going to let those dry and go clear, and then we'll come back with the gold leafing and silver leafing to finish off. So we're ready to gold and silver leaf now. So what we need is our little book of silver leaf and a soft brush for removing the excess. So actually this is the silver and this is the gold. So I'm going to do a bit on each, but if they get a bit blown away, I might end up with a bit of silver and a bit of gold on some, we'll see. Okay, so with the leafing, it's all kept in between these sheets in a booklet like this. Now this imitation gold leaf and silver leaf is not very expensive, so you don't need to be too worried about where things go or how much we're using, because it truly is quite economical, but terrific fun to use. Okay, so I'm just lightly pressing. I'm not pushing too hard. We're not digging for silver or gold here. I'm just lightly pressing that into the size that's already there. And I'm going to take some of this, actually I might just even pop this angel under the corner here. There we go. And we can do her at the same time. So once again, just very lightly pressing, lightly pressing, okay? I've seen some people in my classes push a little bit too hard, and then it is really hard to get off if the paint isn't quite dry. So now that I've got that pressed on, I'm going to remove the excess. I like this bit. Don't do this in a windy spot. Best to have the windows closed for this one because it really does go everywhere. But if you're going to get a mess, silver and gold leaf mess is pretty fun, really. Okay, removing the excess here, getting a little bit of power into it. Just using the bristles on the side here to remove some of these areas. Really getting in to the edges. I really like the silver on the navy, that looks terrific. Now I've got an area there that seems to be adhering and I don't want it to, so I'm going to use just the edge of this blade to remove that. So if you do have any areas that are particularly bothering you because they're not quite neat enough, you can just neaten them up very carefully with a blade if you don't like that rough effect. There we go, neatening up a couple of areas there. Okay, pretty happy with the way that one's turned out. Let's go on to this angel here. It's rubbing away. I just did an outline on this one. Rubbing away the excess where I didn't apply the size, using the side of the brush again. And knowing that if it's not coming off and I want it to, I can use the blade. Certainly using the blade on this on this wooden base is fine. If you had a more precious base, you might have to be a bit neater with your application, or just leave it rough and be happy with it. There we go. Just tidying up a couple of little areas there. And that one is done too. So I'm just going to continue. I've got these two are totally covered. This one's got some flowers. I'm just going to do a very similar thing to what I've just done with the silver leaf with gold. And then I'll come back at the end and show you all our finished, whoops, there we go. Missed a bit on the head there, so you can just pull it off and join it up again. So just gently applying that, and then we'll totally cover this red one here. If it creases a bit, don't worry at all, but that one's totally adhered on there, so that'll be very simple to brush away. But I'll just finish these ones off using exactly the same technique as we've been using, and come back at the end and show you what we've done. Okay, so now we have our ornaments gold or gilded with some gold or silver. You can go ahead now and do the other sides as well if you want to, but basically we took something that was pretty plain to start with and made it a lot more special and unique. It's a terrific activity to do with kids or other members of your family and build some memories around the ornaments this year or next. I've got a couple of examples here of just using paint to decorate some ornaments with patterns as well. So don't think that you're restricted by the gold or silver leafing. You can also add a little bit of detail just with simple paint, and here I've only used 2 colours on each one, and they can still be very special and unique to you. You could even write around the edges with a message that's unique to your family. So let's go and see some of these beauties on the tree. So thanks so much for doing this Christmas ornament project with me. I hope you've enjoyed using the gold and silver leaf, and I'll see you again soon.